The book I'm going to read today is called Lots, The Diversity of Life on Earth. And it's about my favourite subject, which is biodiversity. And that's just a scientific word to describe all the different kinds of living things, plants and animals and microbes and mushrooms that live on our planet. Our planet is absolutely surrounded by this gorgeous net of beautiful life, and all of it is connected. And the pictures in this book are done by wonderful Emily Sutton. And they aren't just beautiful, they're also wonderfully accurate. Now, if you look at that picture there, the title page, you can see it's a desert. Now, that's a real desert, it's a real place. It's the Sonoran Desert. Very diverse. You can see lots and lots of different birds and plants and animals. Every single one of the pictures in this book is something that you could look at for a long time and learn a lot from. Okay, so here's the beginning. How many different kinds of living things are there on our planet? 1, 2, 3. Lots. Yes, there are lots and lots and lots. From big things like elephants and oak trees to small things like mushrooms and microbes. Microbes, very, very, very important part of our planet. And there are an awful lot of them. 5,000 different kinds of microbes in a single teaspoon of soil. Get your head around that. Absolutely everywhere you look, there are living things. In deserts and on islands far, far out to sea. This is a very, very famous set of islands, the Galapagos Islands off the coast of Ecuador, where Charles Darwin went on his round-the-world voyage. There are even animals living under the feathers of birds or on the backs of beetles. You can see this little beetle down here has got lichens growing on its back and other tiny little insects trundling around inside that lichen. There are even living things in places where you think absolutely nothing could survive, like boiling volcanic pools. This is a boiling volcanic pool, and these bright colours surrounding it are actually colonies of microbes living in that boiling water. Imagine being able to live in boiling water. Now, counting how many kinds of living things there are can be difficult because some places are pretty hard to look in. Now, this is the top of the rainforest canopy, and there are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things living up there, and lots of different kinds of trees. But it's hard to look up there because it's very high, difficult to get up there. And of course, the bottom of the sea. Human beings can only go to the bottom of the sea in submarines or scuba gear. And there's lots and lots of life living down there, and we're always discovering new kinds. Now, it can also be difficult to tell exactly how many different kinds there are because some things that look different are really the same. Now, if you look at this picture of these two fish, they look different, don't they? But they're actually the same thing, the same species. This is a grown-up one and this is a juvenile one. And it also works the other way around, that some things that look the same are really different. Look carefully at these two butterflies. At first glance, they look exactly the same, don't they? But if you look carefully, you can see they're just a little bit different. This one is a monarch, and this one is a viceroy butterfly. But mainly, it's difficult to count how many different kinds of living things there are because there are just so many. So far, human beings have found and counted almost 2 million different kinds. But that's only the start. We keep finding more every year. And in fact, all the animals on this page, animals and plants on this page, are things that scientists have found and described in just the last few years. So, when you grow up, maybe you could find something new that nobody's found before and describe it. Anyway, the more we find and the more we learn about living things, what we find out is how they depend on each other for food, for places to live, for ways to grow. In fact, everything is connected. we've learned that every kind of living thing is part of a big, beautiful, complicated pattern. And almost nowhere on earth is that pattern so complicated as in a rainforest. Now this is a rainforest in South America. And all the animals that you see there, you would find in a South American rainforest. And what's more, a lot more beside. The problem is that we human beings are destroying bits of that big, beautiful, complicated pattern with our pesticides and with our factories and pollution, with our roads and houses chopping it into bits, and with our fishing boats emptying the seas. And what happens is that plants and animals disappear because that pattern is broken into bits. Many, many kinds of living things have already gone extinct. If you look at this picture of some of the gorgeous things in this picture, these are gone forever. Extinct means that there's no more, and there can never be any more. Once an animal has gone extinct, you can't get it back. Human beings are part of this pattern too, so we need to make sure that it stays big and beautiful and complicated. Because we could not live on an earth where we had counted all the way back from lots to one. Nobody would want to live on an earth where there were only humans, and nobody could live on an earth where there were only humans, because we depend on this biodiversity. We need there to be lots and lots and lots of living things on our beautiful, gorgeous little planet floating in space. Bye.